morning. Welcome to Technology Source's weekly virtual roundtable event. I'm Sonia Moline, Vice President here at Technology Source. I've been with the company for almost a year. Time is flying really fast. It's been an interesting transition to watch our entire world go from very kind of in-person events, lots of in-person meetings with customers, to a much more sudden glimpse into a future world, one in which digital has become really the central way that we interact, forcing organizations and individuals further up the adoption curve almost overnight. This is a world in which digital channels are becoming primary and in some ways, and in some cases, the sole way that we communicate with customers. There's a lot of automated processes as well to improve productivity, and these are becoming the basis for a transparent and stable place of business. If there's one silver lining that can be found in all of this, it might be in that falling barriers to improvisation and experimentation have emerged among customers, markets, and regulators and organizations. So it's interesting to see just how many great innovations are coming out of this time. Without further ado, I want to introduce to you someone on our team who's here today with us, and that is Stephanie Mountain. She is an enterprise sales professional with a proven record of exceeding performance and her performance goals. She has a 15-year career spanning from sales and marketing efforts to software development firms, established consumer technology companies, tech firms, consulting firms, and she's just passionate about how innovation and technology can help companies become more efficient. She brings a strategic selling approach and collaborative tools to be more agile and responsive. She's passionate about technology and how to help businesses grow faster, and she has completed her undergrad degree at the University of Missouri, Kansas City. And last time I saw Stephanie, she had a tiny little Pomsky puppy that she showed us on her Zoom meeting, and today she told us it's not so small anymore. How's it going today, Stephanie?
Good, Sonia. How about yourself?
Good, good. All right, well, I think we can kick it off. I see a room full of attendees here, and I'd love for you to kind of just introduce the main attraction today, and we can get started. Oh, and one other, just a little bit of housekeeping before I hand it over. We are taking questions and answers throughout this entire event. So if you think of anything to ask our panelists here, just go ahead and type that into the question and answer box, and we will do our best to respond to those questions. We won't be interrupting after every question. We'll kind of hold those into little groups. So rest assured your question will most likely be answered. And then we are going to do a little reward, and we're not going to quite tell you how we're going to do that, but I'm telling you participation is key. So do participate, ask great questions, and then at the end we're going to do a little prize just to make it fun. So that is my housekeeping for the day, and without further ado, Stephanie.
Thanks for your effort in putting all the virtual roundtables together. Yeah, so these are great events that we have every week, and I know you put a lot of sweat equity into them, so thank you. I get to introduce our NetCarrier team that's with us today. We have Laura Bella and Robert Hughes. So I'm just going to kind of give a quick overview of both of them, and then I'm going to hand it over to Laura. So Laura currently lives in Philadelphia with her husband and 2 dogs. She has a BA degree in marketing management. She started at NetCarrier 9 years ago as a sales and marketing coordinator. In her years at NetCarrier, she's performed multiple roles, including marketing, product management, and sales. As the director of sales and marketing, she oversees the back office sales support team, channel partner managers, and marketing. She enjoys relaxing on the beach in Delaware. I'm with you on that, except in Southern California. And she spends time with her family by the pool, and she's a super aunt to her 7 nieces. And then we also have with us Robert Hughes, currently in Philadelphia as well. He has a 4-year-old daughter, and he started with NetCarrier 4 years ago as a technical support representative. He moved into the role of sales engineer last year. He assists the team on solution design, webinar demonstrations, and engineering support. Rob's been a turntablist in the music industry for the past 10 years. We have some similarity here on the Technology Source side. And he also enjoys fishing and spending time with his daughter. So, as an advisor, I'm looking forward to getting to know more about your team. And Laura, I'll hand it over to you and take it away.
Thanks so much. Appreciate the intro. Hi, everyone. Hope you guys had a wonderful 4th of July. I'm excited to kind of go over what we have to show for you today. Robert, I'm going to be turning it over to Robert kind of mid presentation, and he's going to show you a demonstration of the collaboration tools we're going over today. And then you'll see a nice guest appearance by Ashley Clemmer, who is one of our national channel managers. She's our kind of sales rep over here. She helps existing and new customers transition over to NetCarrier. So you'll get to see a bunch of the team here today. So what I'm going over today is effective collaboration, using tools to be able to enable your employees to be more efficient internally as well as work with customers externally. Just a little bit of information about who NetCarrier is. Like Stephanie and Sonia said, I've been with the company for 9 years, and we've been in business since 1996. So not only are we an FCC regulated carrier, which means essentially we can sell traditional carrier services or dial tone services to businesses, we also are a VoIP provider. So we have our own proprietary hosted PBX cloud solution. No one else in the industry sells this software. It is ours and ours alone. If you haven't heard of NetCarrier, it's because our main focus has been in the Mid-Atlantic region over the years. But we went completely national, 8 years ago, so we have customers all over. But our roots are kind of in the PA, New Jersey, Delaware, New York area. So, that might be why you haven't heard of us. We are a privately held company. We don't have a board of directors. If you need something approved or any type of collaboration internally, I can just walk over to the VP of Operations or the EVP's office if I need anything. We're located outside of Philadelphia. That's our headquarters. That's where Rob, myself, and Ashley are. That's where also our technical support team is. So the tech support team is right outside my office. And like we mentioned, Rob actually came from that team. It's 24/7, 365. It's US based. So it's our own employees. We don't outsource the call center. And that is one of the main things that we pride ourselves on. I know a lot of people say they're 24/7 and stuff like that, but you get a live person in less than 30 seconds. And our employees, our technical support team, can do a lot of the troubleshooting that tier 2 engineers can do. So we really pride ourselves on, making sure we have a really good support team. And then we've been deploying these services for over 20 some years. So we have a lot of experience in the services that we offer. So about 80% of businesses use collaboration tools to enhance their business processes. You might be using them right now in your day-to-day life, or maybe you aren't, but a lot of businesses utilize them to effectively collaborate internally with their team. So what NetCarrier offers is our nCloud Connect solution. So that is our VoIP cloud phone system. And we're offering our Bria Enterprise collaboration tool, which essentially makes your phone system a UCaaS solution, which is a unified communication as a service solution. It basically syncs your desk phone, your mobile app, and your computer, so you have a streamlined form of communication. So whether you're in the office or at home, you can use your cell phone, and that cell phone becomes your desk phone, and you can instant message with people internally for quick response times and collaboration. You can video call with your teammates, chat, send files, screen share, everything. So it's almost like if you need to be remote, you can operate just as efficiently as if you were in the office. So today we're going to go over the Bria Enterprise solution that we are rolling out. We partner with Bria, Counterpath Bria. They've been in business since 2002. They have over 20 million endpoints and 24 patents. So their main focus is just this collaboration tool. So video conferencing, instant messaging. And what we did was we partnered with them and also integrated it into our phone system so we can sort of have one cohesive, unified communication solution for our customers. Other ways that collaboration tools, other benefits that they do is they improve your customer experience. So customers can sense your team's collaboration as well as your productivity and enthusiasm, or if you don't have that. So over 70% of customers say they expect companies to collaborate on their behalf. So say I'm working with a customer and they say, hey, I need to be installed really quickly. I need to go then over to my operations team and collaborate with them and say, hey, can we get this customer in pretty quickly? They just need to be in 2 weeks. What do we need to do? And and I'm collaborating on behalf of that customer. So they really expect the companies they work with to be able to collaborate and work well with the team that they have. Being able to share projects, Excel spreadsheets, documents, multitasking by connecting coworkers via desktop chat with file sharing capabilities, and then also just collaborating with team face-to-face or even on video. You know, they want to know that you communicate internally and that everyone's on the same page. So not only does it improve customer experience, but also enhances your business processes. So when you're able to effectively communicate internally and quickly with your staff via, you see here, instant messaging or video sharing, you can do that with a click of a button. And whether you're on your mobile app or your desktop client here, you're able to utilize these tools to effectively communicate with your coworkers. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually show you a live demonstration of how these tools work. We're going to go through the video conferencing, the instant messaging tool, the mobile application, and you're going to get a live experience of how it operates and how you would use it in sort of your day-to-day. So I'm just going to turn this over to Rob here.
So this is Bria. This is Bria Enterprise. So we're greeted initially with a dial pad and a series of statuses. Okay, our presence. Okay, this is going to dictate essentially what I'm doing. Okay, if I'm away, if I'm at the phone, I'm available, or if I want to set myself to do not disturb, available for calls. And it also reacts to my actual action. So if I am on the phone, if I'm calling somebody, that will show others who are on my system that I'm on the phone, unavailable for calls right now. In fact, if we look, we can see that Ashley currently is busy, so we know we don't want to call her. She's available now, so if we wanted to, we could give her a quick dial. Not anymore. Ashley's actually calling somebody, and it looks like it might be Laura. So in this case, we can see that Ashley and Laura are currently busy. If we need to reach out to them, we just simply have to look at our contacts list here and determine, okay, maybe another time, maybe we can message them, okay, and just let them know that we're trying to give them a call. So to that messaging, you can actually, again, click straight from this contact list to send a message to somebody, okay? Now from here, you can actually share screens. You can share your screen and others can share their screen with you on the fly. So if we're communicating, say I'm messaging Laura here, and I say, hey, showing Bria, okay, and I wanted to share with her exactly what I'm showing here to you guys today. So you could do so here with a simple click, share screen. You select the monitor, and it will actually share your screen with whomever you select. Now, I'm going to bring this window over here. You can add participants to that screen share, okay, freely. So again, you can almost create like an instantaneous collaboration tool here where you're doing something and they need to walk you through something. You share your screen with them and they can just tell you step by step what you need to do, vice versa. And we're going to end this screen share here real quick. Now, Bria being built and integrated with our phone system allows us to create a quick voicemail dial, right? So you guys can actually check your voicemail box straight from Bria. You just click on voice messages here, and it will dial out to your voicemail box. Put in your PIN number with the dial pad, and listen to your voicemail straight from the app. Now from here, we have a few other items here on the GUI. You have the ability to use a headset if you wish, again, through your PC. You can quickly adjust volume. You can actually change a few other settings, like if you want, anytime a call comes into your app, you want it to just automatically answer every time, okay? You can hide your number when you're dialing out. For those dial by name directories, you can actually turn your letters to numbers so you don't have to sit here and look at each number and try to figure out what you're trying to dial. And then you can also disable call waiting if you wish. Moving from there, we have our contacts list. So we covered this briefly, but your contacts list encompasses all forms of contacts, okay, for each person. So, for instance, Ashley here has a profile built where the only way to reach her through this app is the instant message, okay, the instant message capability. However, if we look at Laura, we have a plethora of items. We can reach her out by, mobile phone. We can reach out by email, message her straight from the app, really whatever you need. And that can all be integrated into Bria. Now you can search by contact. You can actually favorite different contacts for a quick go-to list here, okay? You can even pop this out. So if you needed your contacts list or your favorites list readily available at all times, but you needed this dial pad here, or your recent call list as well, you can pop these windows out. You can have them, it's essentially modular, okay? You can have everything out at once, right? The go-tos, right? So as far as dialing is concerned, as far as a phone, it works like any other, okay? I can dial out to any number I want, a toll-free, a local 10-digit, or an internal extension on my phone system, okay? And again, you can put people on hold, you can transfer the call, and if applicable, if the other end, say, has video capabilities, we can add video to the call simply by clicking this button here. So we're going to go ahead and end that call. Now, back to those contact groups that I had mentioned earlier, you can organize your contacts with rosters, with groups. Now, when we integrate this into our phone system, everyone's going to be, at least in the phone system, is going to be in their own group, okay? You can actually section them out and put them, organize them via department. You can organize them by most contacted, okay? You can really separate this to whatever you need. You can even add in your own contacts, okay? Revisiting favorites, again, that quick go-to list, and then your full call history. So the full call history is any call that goes in and out of this app. And that includes your conferences, okay? So anything that you do with this app is recorded. You can actually pull that information. You can see how long you were on the call for. You can see when you had called this person, when they had called you, the direction of the call. It lists it all here. You can even contact them or just check out their contact info. Now, real quick, I'm going to call Ashley here. I'm going to pop those back in right here. Search Ash. I'm going to give her a call. I believe she picked up. So from here, Ashley can mute. Now I'm going to demonstrate here. We should be receiving the call in a minute. There it is. All right, so we can actually answer the call, put Ashley on hold, just like you would any normal phone. Okay, again, the functionality is there. Right? You're able to transfer the call. You can merge the call. You can put Laura on hold and continue on with Ashley's call. Okay, you can hot swap and then end the call and continue on with the one that you need. Right? And lastly, one of the more important features of Berea collaboration is the ability, again, to have a video call, okay, at any point. Now, I might have an issue sending video simply because I'm already sending video to you guys over Zoom. We're going to have to cut that short. We're going to move on into the messaging center. So the other half of this tool is the messaging center. So you have a full suite of messaging options here, which essentially just works like any other instant messenger. However, you have a couple added benefits. One, it's integrated into your phone system, so you have everyone's contact information readily available. I can instantly add and look for anyone that I need on the fly, okay? Add them, start the conversation, and I'm good to go, okay? I can continue old conversations, simple hello, and I can even create chat rooms. So chat rooms serve a multitude of purposes. Essentially, again, divvy it up by department or use. If you guys are think tanking on a new product line or anything, you can start up a chat room. You can make it private, essentially limit the chat room to only the select few people that you want to be in that chat room. Now, it looks like I received something here. we got a slice from Laura. Thank you. Now, you can also file share using the message center, okay, which is actually something that I really enjoy because they allow you to not only utilize the GUI to add those files, but you can also just click and drag. And we're actually receiving a file from Ashley right now, which gives you an option to accept it or decline it, but we are going to accept it. We're even going to close the dialog box once it's done. So we're going to select to save it. We're going to save it to our desktop. So it looks like we received this PDF from Ashley. Okay, it came in full and pretty much instantaneously saved to where I wanted it to go. All right, and the best part, what I actually love about this is how you can send it. So again, you can either choose to add it to the GUI or just click and drag. And once it's finished sending, once Laura accepts this, I can check to close this dialog box once it's done, pretty much letting me know, okay, she received it and we're good to go. Now, from the message center, while again it is primarily for sending and receiving messages, you can also make calls. You can also send video calls. You can even start a conference. They're just a click away. So if I want to make this call to Laura, I just click and it sends off the call, which again will initiate your soft phone over here where you can start video if you wish. You can hold, transfer, etc. Now, as far as the video conference is concerned, you have either the ability to start it from the message center or straight here from the GUI. Okay? When you click here, you can actually immediately start a conference. You can schedule a conference through integration with Outlook, or you can copy the conference link, and you can send that link off to whoever you need to, whether they're internal or external. Right? We're going to go ahead and just start a conference now so you guys can actually see what that conference room looks like. Okay, so right now I have absolutely nobody in here, but I want to invite Laura. I click on the participants list, type in the contact name, and that's that. Once they accept, they jump into the room, and we can start with our conference. Okay. You're given a lot of control in this conference room in the sense that you can actually mute everybody, unmute. You can lock the bridge so nobody can actually enter or interrupt the conference. If you want, you can change the layout so that way you can view everybody at one time. You can have a focus on a specific speaker. You can actually give the floor to your participants. So if I wanted to assign the floor to myself, that way no matter who's speaking in the conference, I'll always be the one with the primary monitor, right? But if I wanted to come in here and say give Laura the floor, now no matter who's speaking, Laura will always be front and center. Okay. Again, from here you have a chat room, which allows you to maybe field questions without interrupting the conference itself. You can screen share through the conference. You can even record these conferences. Now this recording feature is local, so it will save to your PC so that you immediately have that recording available. And I will assign the floor to myself. I'm actually going to lock mute so that way I can mute everybody. I know that I'm the only one speaking and nobody can mute, unmute themselves. And I'm actually going to lock the conference so no new participants can come in. However, I have the option to put a pin on the conference room. So if I want to lock it to just anyone coming in, I can give that pin to a select few people, and that way I'm sure that only the people that need to be in this conference can be in this conference. I'm actually going to end the conference here.
And Ashley and I, we were actually joining via our mobile application, which we're going to show next, but that's why you saw like our screen look like that, because you can do it on both.
Stop my share here and continue on the mobile app. It should show my screen. Okay, looks pretty good. So, just like any other app, you're just going to tap it. You're going to log in, username and password, and now we're in. And it looks like, again, the soft phone straight from your desktop. Okay. Now, here you have access to things like your full contact list. Now, this is going to be split up between your actual phone contacts, your buddies from your actual phone system, and any favorites you may have selected. You're also going to have access to that historical call list. Okay, you're going to see all your missed calls and conferences. You're going to have access to your chat rooms as well as your actual individual conversations. And then any settings that you need to adjust for your mobile app, for your phone specifically. And again, this works just like the desktop app. If I want to dial into any specific extension or phone number, I'll use the dialer as I would anywhere else. There we go. Now again, if we wanted to add video, I call it the DID. so for video, again, the other end has to be video enabled. I ended up calling the 10-digit DID. Therefore, I got answered on her Polycom phone. So we're not going to have video today. But again, everything's accessible from your mobile app as it were on the desktop app. Everything that you have available to you on Berea desktop is here on your mobile app as well. That concludes the Berea Enterprise presentation. Laura, I'm going to hand things back to you, the remainder here. Thank you, everybody, for sticking with me on that one, and hopefully I was able to teach you some new things here. So I'm going to stop my screen share.
Thanks, Rob. I appreciate that. Yeah, and like he had mentioned, so we're showing this a video tool through kind of a video tool. So, you know, some of the stuff where he wasn't able to show you the video, just wanted to give you actually the concept of it and how the desktop client, the mobile app, how it kind of all works together and works with your phone as well. So let me go back to sharing my screen here so we can kind of finish up this presentation and then get to questions. So like I mentioned, so there's two kind of seat options that we have available, our Unify and Unify Plus seat. So what a seat essentially is anytime you have a user, they need a seat, and that seat is tied to that person's phone, and it gives them the ability to have their phone number, all of their calling and dial tone functionalities, as well as all their unified communication features. So the two Bria packages we have is sort of our Bria collaboration that you can add to the Unify seat. And essentially that has your mobile app, it has video conferencing for internal, screen sharing, PC, soft phone, and instant messaging. Now, if you're looking for being able to video conference externally and with a large amount of people, we have our Bria Enterprise video conferencing, and that you can add on to the Unify Plus seat. So you can have up to 200 participants, and whether they're internal or external, you can do that. So a lot of times people don't really need to do a lot of video conferencing with a lot of people, so they might just add one of the video conferencing users, and then the rest just have the Bria collaboration tool with the internal video calling and all of that. So those are sort of the packages and how they're broken up. So as we're getting to the end here, one of the things NetCarrier is offering all new customers is 3 months our Unify seats for free. So all new customers. So originally, like I said, it's about $23 for a user, and we're giving that away for free. So, and we're going to do that for all of 2020. So we still have several months left of the year. So take advantage of that, especially right now as we're rolling out this Bria collaboration tool. I think it could be really beneficial for a lot of people that are working remote and want to be able to collaborate still with their team, even though they can't see them on a day-to-day basis. And then I think we're going to you want to do some questions, and then we'll actually do a small raffle for participating today. But I think we'll do some questions, and then we'll get into how you can win the raffle.
Yeah, no, I think that's perfect. Great. So we do have some questions. I guess we could just stop the screen share so it maximizes our spaces. There we go. And then I have, well, a lot of good questions. One I did think we answered, no big deal, but let's ask it again just to clarify how many participants can Bria host or handle. I think that is a good question, just to reiterate.
Yeah, so like I said, there's two packages. So the Bria collaboration, which goes with the Unify seat, you can have up to 5 participants. It's an internal collaboration video. So that's more video calling. The Bria Enterprise with video conferencing, you can have up to 200 participants, and that's a true video conferencing tool. So it's very much like a Zoom. So you can have up to 200 participants.
Okay. So what are some of the differences from a Zoom or one of those types of platforms? What are some of the differentiators that you're finding customers are really enjoying?
Yeah, so the nice part about this is it's actually integrated with your phone system. A lot of times Zoom is just sort of a video tool, but this integrates with your phone system. You can transfer, you can extension dial, you have all your corporate contacts, you can file share. So that's one of the biggest differences between Zoom and that. It can integrate with your business phone system.
Does the Bria system have an Outlook integration?
Yes, it does. So when Rob was showing you how to schedule a video conference, it'll actually pull up your Outlook window so you can then send the link to anyone you want and schedule a video call if you need to.
That's great. And so I have a question here from Michelle. Is a recording to the cloud option available?
Yep. So we actually will, any recording that so the recording on the Bria collaboration tool is stored in the cloud. And then if you actually want more recording on top of that, NetCarrier will store it in our data center here.
Great. Some questions about privacy. I know there's been a lot of concerns, especially I've seen just things on the news about hacks and things like that. I've actually personally had one weird experience, and then another, one of my customers was explaining something that happened that was pretty strange on their Zoom meeting. So what are some privacy type measures that are being taken for Bria, and how are customers responding to that?
I'll let Rob kind of chime in a little bit here, but before we kind of get started on that, Bria doesn't have just like a free tool, and I know Zoom has sort of like a free, and it's very open. This enterprise tool, actually, you can only get if you are partnered with a VoIP provider like us. So it has a lot of security already built into it, as opposed to just sort of a free service that you can just sort of throw a link in and jump in. But Rob, do you have any other type of security, like what else the Bria offers from like a, encryption and all that kind of stuff?
Sorry, I didn't realize I was actually muted here. Yeah, as far as Bria is concerned, they do boast secure RTP. They do leverage TLS to ensure privacy and data security. Okay, so when you are actually utilizing their collaboration tools, it is encrypted end-to-end. And that is considering, of course, that your networks are secure as well. But as far as the tunnel, so to speak, between you and the person you're contacting, that is a secure connection. They also utilize secure LDAP, which is pretty nice because, again, between Bria and other servers within your organization, let's say, you're going from like site to site, right, communicating between two branches, okay, it's fully encrypted. So you don't really have to worry too much about any kind of breaches into that communication. So when you're utilizing their messenger or their file share or anything like that, it is secure. Hopefully that was...
Yeah, no, that's great to hear. No, that's a big concern. And then also, one of the things I love about NetCarrier, and one of the reasons that I was excited that you guys came today, is just the level of support that you give to your customers. You're not just a name or a number with NetCarrier. You're a real important customer. And I've just known that that's sort of the way you guys operate. But could you talk a little bit about the types of customers that really find success with NetCarrier and your products? I think that would help, because I know there's customers on today that are thinking, well, this sounds great. I love the application and everything like that. But tell me a little bit more about some of your happy customers or sweet spots.
Yeah, so I mean, as far as industry goes, I know this has become really beneficial for a lot of nonprofits, whether it's in the mental health or sort of any type of realm of that. A lot of customers like this because they need to be able to collaborate internally and talk through whether it's talking about a patient's, whatever it might be, talking about a patient or in particular. So I'd say the nonprofit for sure. And then even healthcare workers being able to quickly communicate with their staff using this and being able to make calls and stuff like that. And I mean, essentially you could use this as your video tool if you needed to talk internally with anyone. And then I would say a lot of industries can benefit from this. I mean, really any business, 80% of businesses really do use collaboration tools. So it really has been beneficial for a lot of customers, but I think the nonprofit has been sort of a big one for us.
Great. You mentioned patient care and those types of things, and that's where my mind went, just because that's the industries that I've worked with and been a big part of in the past. And I was thinking, man, I wish we'd had something like this, because this was back, 2012. And a lot of these new technologies that are coming out are just like better and better every year. Tell me about the HIPAA compliance aspects. Do you offer any special packages or any type of HIPAA compliance for customers that are looking for that?
So a lot of what HIPAA essentially is concerned about is the at-rest data, so the storage of data. So whether you're storing chat messages or file messages and all of that. And like Rob showed you, when you share a file, it goes right to your computer there. So it's not being saved anywhere else besides where you actually allow it to save, and it doesn't stay within that chat client. That's one of the benefits there. Like he mentioned, the encryption of just being able to make the calls and the security, no one's able to sort of like hack into that and get into a conversation, a phone call conversation. Rob, anything else particular you could think of as far as HIPAA compliance and all of that?
I would say that essentially encompasses it. As long as you understand that where you're sending the information is secure, and the person receiving said information is the intended recipient, and that information doesn't get shared or circulated in a way against the patient's will or knowledge, then outside of that, it's simply just securing those channels, which we covered earlier, involving Bria's encryption. So yeah, I'd say that very well covers it.
Good, good. Well, I can definitely see a lot of protective measures in place. And so as a compliance officer, that's what I'm always looking for. So, but definitely to the persons who are interested in the HIPAA compliance stuff, reach out to me and the advisors at Technology Source, and we can kind of go down the rabbit hole on those types of things and kind of go through all of that, because there is no like one stop answer. And that's why I appreciate, one quick answer. That's why I appreciate Robert and Laura kind of, well, there's this. Anyone who just says, oh yeah, we're HIPAA compliant, next question. Those are the ones you really want to like kind of go, oh, really? So it's good that they are taking the time to answer these questions. And there's a lot that goes into the security behind HIPAA.
We're an FCC regulated carrier as well. So we're not just a VoIP provider. So the FCC doesn't actually regulate internet, and they think of VoIP traffic as over the internet. So we do have a lot of compliance ourselves, like our network and everything has to comply with. There's some measures we take on that side as well.
Great. Okay, some questions about voicemail on the system. Does it translate to text or email or SMS?
So what you do is you'll get the phone system itself. So once you get a voicemail, you'll actually get an email of the WAV file where you can listen to it. We don't have voicemail transcription just yet. I know that's probably in the future. I know that when I use it on my cell phone, I get bits and pieces of what the actual message says, but it does get emailed to you where you can listen to in a WAV file, and as well as or on your phone as well.
Great. Tell us how you guys use the tool personally.
Yeah, so we actually use this every single day, especially our sales team. We're constantly multitasking to an extent. I know multitasking always isn't the best way to handle things, but we're constantly, if we're on the phone, hey, did you talk to this customer about this? Boom, yes. Hey, what about that spreadsheet? Can you send that to me? And we send it to the person. And then when one of us has to work remote, we are actually at the office, but when one of us has to work remote, I can quickly call someone or video with them, and then it's like I'm right at the office. So we actually all use it every single day in the office, which has been huge for us.
Great. Any stories of customers who've been facing this difficult time? I know obviously you've mentioned the 3 months free. I think that is amazing, and I've seen a lot of organizations doing that. We don't promote just any organization that's doing that. We only want to promote the ones that we feel are really going to be beneficial to the customers, and so it's awesome that you guys are doing that. But any stories about just a customer who either current or future or potential or any of that sort of thing, just to kind of get us a little bit of kind of caught up on what's going on?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, there's so many instances. So we've had existing customers that have gone completely remote, and they've had premise phone systems, and they're like, oh no, what do we do? Like, help us. So we were able to set up sort of a remote office for them and be able to utilize the mobile tools and these collaboration tools to be able to communicate. And then we've also just had customers that might need help financially. Maybe they went from having 50 people in the office working, and now they had to lay people off, and there's only 10 people. And we say, you know what, we're gonna downsize your user seat package, and that way you don't have to pay for those users you're not using. So we've done a lot of creative things like that for customers during this time. And now I think we're seeing people kind of pick up and sort of check out some new avenues of technology.
Yeah, that's great. I did hear soft phones mentioned, but we had a question come up about soft phones. Can you just explain how that works for the users?
Yeah. So just like Rob was showing you the dial pad, you could simply just use your computer as your desk phone. So as long as you have a mic, most laptops and all of that come with that these days. And I can just make a call and just have a conversation right from my computer. So that's all included as well.
Yeah, great. So easy. So let's see. Another question that I was just thinking of is video meetings. Were those something that it's always done on the fly, or are those something I can schedule out in advance, or like a weekly meeting or something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. You can schedule in advance. And like I said, the Outlook will pop up, and you can kind of change it to whatever you want, whether you want to meet now or schedule it later, or you can absolutely do that.
Great. What about, I think I saw the contacts for you, Robert. They were right there in your mobile app. Are those are the contacts on your phone, or how did that work?
So the mobile app actually will split your mobile contacts, your contacts on your actual phone from any other contacts that exist through the app. So that'll show up as contacts, buddies, and favorites. So that way you can actually determine, okay, well, I'm trying to make a personal call. I can hit contacts, and then I have all my personal contacts. On the other side, if I want to reach someone within the office, I just hit buddies, and then I can search for them that way.
So cool. Cool. Well, I know we have a lot more questions, but we're getting kind of close to the end of things here. How about, could you give us a little bit of the difference between Bria and Jive, or one of the other, like LogMeIn, one of the other companies out there? So just a little bit of the differences there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know a ton about Jive and who they utilize, but I know LogMeIn is, the go-to meeting kind of world. Really, because we've used GoToMeeting internally as well. And in all honesty, I think that's really just a presentation tool. It's not necessarily a tool to use for chatting and file sharing and a true collaboration tool. It really is just a sort of a presentation tool. So there's a world for kind of both of them. And that is why we have the two Bria packages. If you're going to use Bria more for a presentation, you want to use that video conferencing and do the screen sharing with that. So I would say that is the biggest difference, that Bria encompasses the presentation tool, but it has a lot more that the GoToMeeting doesn't.
Okay, great. All right, well, thank you guys so much for coming today. Should we do our fun raffle game now, so that we make sure our attendees get that prize? One lucky attendee.
Yeah, right. We're just gonna do a quick little raffle here, but we're gonna do something a little different. So I already have my number. So between
she told us the number in advance, so she's not making it up.
I'm not making it up. I told everyone. I have it written down on my paper. So, and I'm to scale it back, I'm gonna say pick a number between 1 and 50. Okay. And the first person in the chat that gets either the number or close to the number wins an Amazon gift card, and we'll be sending that. And I see the numbers coming in, so go ahead, lay them out. Woo. Keep it going. I don't see it yet.
We gotta see your numbers. Oh, they're in the chat. They're doing it in the chat.
Yep, I got it.
Keep going, guys.
One guess, or do they get multiple?
Yeah, how many guesses do they get?
No, you get one guess.
Okay, one guess. All right. I like it though.
Twice here.
Some people just naturally put 2. That's what I would have done too. Don't feel bad. All right, so I'm looking here. Is it like the first without going over?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Is it
like The Price is Right, where it's like you can't go over?
Yeah, the closest
without.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So far I'm seeing Matthew C, and then he's tied with Ricardo. Anybody closer than that without going over?
I don't think so.
We can't have a tie.
It's all right. We'll give you we'll do 2 since you guys were the closest. We'll give out 2, and the number was 14. So Matthew and Ricardo, if you could just shoot us your email information, and then Matt, we already know you, Matt. Ricardo, if you could shoot us your information, we'll send you over an email, and we're gonna do an Amazon gift card. We feel like everyone uses Amazon, so
yes.
We appreciate you guys taking the time today, and hopefully you saw some benefit in this, and it piqued your interest a little bit.
Great. Well, we're so happy to have you guys. Thank you. I really love the live demo too. I know that's always nerve-wracking because I've been in a lot of live demo situations and you're like, please go well. But I think it's so helpful for the customers, because I know we have a couple customers on today that were kind of actually looking at solutions like this. And so that does give them some insight on what this looks like. So really appreciate it.
We did a whole script. So that's our whole script about the demo. We rehearsed it because it can be very complicated, especially when you're sharing a video through a video through a video.
Yes, exactly. I mean, that's what we're faced with right now, though. And so it's great that you were able to do that. And so we will record this and put this on our YouTube page. For everyone who hasn't subscribed, please check out our YouTube page. Just go to YouTube, Technology Source, and we have tons of videos. We even have featured NetCarrier in the past. So you'll even see some of their other products. So this is a really exciting way to learn about a lot of the different providers that we have. Obviously, we couldn't do them all. We have over 500, but it does give you kind of just a little insight into some of our providers. So Again, that's YouTube. Just go to Technology Source on YouTube and subscribe to our page. We've just started building that out, so it's a big, exciting thing for us. Well, without further ado, I want to give everybody a few minutes back in their day. Thank you guys so much for joining us today, and we will see you next week. We have a really exciting event planned. It's at Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and we will have some talk about getting rid of POP lines as well as some interesting e-fax information for you. So have a great rest of your week. Hopefully it's productive and not socially distanced, but maybe physically distanced. So hopefully you can get some social time in and have a great week. Thank you guys.
Thanks all. Bye.